So this past Monday, there was a Democratic town hall meeting where we heard from the candidates in their last plea to Iowa voters before people caucus their lives away. And I want to tell you all about it. So it was actually, I got a chance to watch it. It was really good. Here's the thing. I think there's a lot of voters out there who are undecided, right? And like I said, we at the Fowler Show, we have not made a clear endorsement. We won't until some people vote. I'm a big believer. I want to know where my audience is before I start making decisions, right? Like, I'm not going to make a decision without knowing where my audience is. So, in this town hall between Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, and Martin O'Malley, they all talked about the issues. Now, Bernie, and I got to give it to him, Bernie is the revolutionary candidate. Bernie wants a political revolution. And I think a lot of Americans want a political revolution, right? They want a candidate that's going to say, we need to do a better job and we need to make America great again, as Donald Trump would say. And so Bernie Sanders, throughout the debate, talked about what he plans on doing, but he also was real. And I got to give him his realness. So he's a 74-year-old senator, and he talked about, winning his elementary school basketball championship. He laughed, he joked, he cried. Felt like I was watching The Color Purple. I'm joking. But he also had some very, very honest attacks for Hillary Clinton, right? He attacked her on being late to Keystone Pipeline. He's like, I've always opposed Keystone Pipeline. You just recently did that. He also attacked Hillary Clinton for the Trans-Pacific Partnership. She was for it. Now she's against it. He attacked her for voting in the war in Iraq. She voted for it. Right? And he said, the quote that I think stood out for me was, why did it take Hillary Clinton such a long time to get to being progressive? But with that being said, I think Bernie Sanders left out a lot of things. Like, I think there's been a lot of folks who've taken on Bernie Sanders for not being too far to the left. We saw Coates, the author at The Atlantic, talk about how he was sort of anti-reparations and therefore, he's not to the left enough. And I get that argument, right? But to me, I also think that, Bernie, he wants revolution. He's talking about the real issues, and I think he's asking the hard questions. Now, with that being said, I think, let me dismiss Martin O'Malley off the top so we can move on. Martin O'Malley is running for Secretary of Transportation, and he is running poorly for that because this campaign is done. Stick a fork in it, done. He just seems so angry, though, sometimes. I feel as though, Martin O'Malley is, angry that nobody likes him, and I don't know how to help him. Sorry, Martin. Moving on. So Hillary Clinton, who has wrapped herself in the president, she's really wrapped herself in being Obama's third term, right? And her quote was from the debate, building on the progress we've made under President Obama. During her time in the hot seat, she sort of talked about the progressive gains we made on public education, on immigration reform, on the Affordable Care Act. And, here's the thing. The president, let's be real, people. The president in Democratic circles is actually really, really popular. People really like him. So attaching yourself to him is not the worst thing in the world. Now, there's one exchange I thought was very interesting, and I'm not going to make a comment on it. I just want to read the exchange, and I want folks to comment on the YouTube channel or, send us tweets or email us. So a guy gets up, and he says to her, I don't see the same enthusiasm from young people for you. His name was Taylor Gipple. He said, in fact, what I have heard from quite a few people my age is that they think you're dishonest. And Hillary Clinton's response was, I've been around a long time and people have thrown all kinds of things at me and I keep up with it. She continued, if you are new to politics and it's your first time that you're really paying attention, you go, oh my gosh, look at all of this. I have been on the front lines of change in politics since I was your age, is what she said. Now, I understand why Hillary made that answer. Now, my thing is, as a young person and, what our show does and what our show's supposed to do, my problem is I really feel as though she should have come out a lot stronger and talked about why young people should be with her. I mean, yeah, she's like, oh, 10 high school. I talked to 10 high schools and they work for me. But you need to get down in the weeds and say, listen, this is why I am your person. And I think about Obama and what Obama was able to do beyond the fact that him and Michelle, they were just young and hip. They talked about it. We still have student loans, entry point. And this is my advice to the Clinton campaign because I think they're going to win the nomination. You need to create entry points for people to buy into what you're selling. Right? Because I think you can do it, Hillary. I think you could possibly win. I think you'd be a decent president. How you got to do it? Entry point. Find something that connects you to young people. What did you go through during your young life that people understand? Did you have, I mean, I'm being very real. Did you have an unplanned pregnancy scare? Find things people can attach themselves to. Did you fail a class? Like Obama used, I'm still paying off my student loans. And people identified with that. He used music. Like he's like, I listen to The Weeknd and listen to Drake. And, you know, and that is how he found a way to connect with people. You've got to find entry points where people of different ages can connect to you. Right now, you have grandmas, you have white progressives, you have some gay people, and you have old black churchgoers. You need to tap into young people, and you've got to do it fast. What Bernie Sanders has been able to do has been the wise old grandpa that everybody loves, right? And we'll see what happens. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go anywhere.